And I will welcome you to the full game quiz. We are here to answer questions on every part of the game: bidding, play, defense, and all the things in between. I have set up, we're going to be kind of dipping back and forth between the screen we're on now, making some bids, and a play portion where we're going to sit down and actually play the cards that we've bid in this game. So it's going to feel like we're kind of just playing hands together through this different sort of format. So let's jump in with question number one here. And I will ask you, with this auction, one spade passed to you, what do you do with this hand? And this is actually a question that one of you asked. Tom, you actually sent an email that was this sort of hand. And this actually popped up the other day in a different bridge-based tournament. How do we do this? One spade passed to you, make your bid. And to make your bid, folks, you're just going to type that right into the chat. You can type it into the Q&A as well, but the chat's where everyone's going to bid. And you can just put that in there and see if it's right. And I will let you know when it is. Perfect. All right, Debbie, what's up? Oh, Brady. Yep, that's right too. So the one thing that a few of you have actually typed out, which is important, is we can't bid two clubs, right? We can't bid two clubs because that would be game forcing, right? And that would not, don't have nearly enough points for that on this hand, right? So the other option might be three clubs. Some of you might think that is preemptive. And if you have an agreement that it is, you can make that, but that's not the best way to play it. Most people play this three club bid as something conventional, or they play it as invitational with the same sort of hand, right? A 6-card club suit with more like a good 9 to 11 rather than this hand. But we have a way to do this. It's built into our system. We start, folks, with one no trump. We bid one no trump, which is, depending on the system you're playing, forcing or semi-forcing. I recommend kind of the expert level of semi-forcing, but if you're new, playing at forcing is just fine. And the way we handle this is we plan to make a bid again if we're given the opportunity, and we happen to be given that opportunity when partner responds to diamonds. So make your bid now with this hand, folks. You've bid a no trump first. Your partner's now bid 2 diamonds. What do you do? I like what I'm seeing. This is good stuff. So we have ways to do everything if we just remember the system we play. This is how we sign off in a suit. When partner opens a major, we can bid the forcing or semi-forcing no trump. And don't worry, if you have to play one no trump with this hand, sometimes you can do quite well with this number of tricks. But after this 2 diamond bid, any new suit by us, right? An offered up new suit is a sign off. It actually says, hey, partner, I have a long club suit and I have a bad hand. Please don't bid, right? And that's how we get to play 3 clubs, folks. We sit there, we bid a no trump. Partner has to understand that as long as they're not making a game forcing bid themselves, once we show our new suit, the auction is over. We are telling partner, no matter what, we want to play 3 clubs. And that's what a sign off looks like after partner opens one of a major. So what do you think, folks? Shall we take a look and play this thing? I think we should. All right, so let's jump over to our play screen here. And we will see that we have this exact auction. We are now playing 3 clubs. That is our partner's hand, and they have now led the ace of clubs against our contract, which I have to say is not the worst lead based on this auction, right? Our partner showed 2 suits, and we said we want to play in a third one. So it's pretty likely that they're short in one or both of our suits and that other side suit. As you can see, partner has a nice singleton heart, but the opponents have led a club. So take a moment first, and I would like for you guys to tell me how many losers you count when you look at this hand. That's the start of any suit contract. When they make the opening lead, you want to take a look at that hand over there, and you want to say, how many losers am I looking at after this lead here, especially? So give me that number here. I like what I'm seeing. Lots of different answers, but circling around 2 main numbers. So this is how I would run it down here. I know I have exactly 1 club loser, and I'm not going to lose more than 1. Okay. I also know I have 1 spade loser, and I'm not going to lose more than 1 of those either. My diamonds are exactly 1/2 of a loser. Why do I say 1/2 and not 2 or 1? Well, I know I'm winning the ace of diamonds, right? And anytime the king of diamonds is to my left, I am going to win. I'm going to lose 0 diamonds, which means 50% of the time I lose 0 and 50% of the time I lose 1, right? So that's like a half of a loser in the book. And now the question is, how many heart losers we have? Well, it might look like 1 at first blush, but the issue with that is that they're drawing trump, folks. So in order to not have more than 1 loser, we're going to have to trump 2 hearts over there or find another way to do it. But they are really putting a wrench in those plans. So we may, in fact, have 2 heart losers, right? So here I would tend to think 2 on this club lead. 1 here, and just a half there, right? So I think 4.5 is a reasonable number. We may take more than this. We may sometimes take less losers than that. But the big win for the opponents is they took away a potential for us to get rid of more heart losers by starting with trump. If they only can play 1 round of trump, we may still be okay. But here it actually goes club. We play low, it goes low. And now they follow it with another club, which we will, let's say we just win that in dummy. How about that? Not that it's going to make a huge difference, but I just want to put that to you there. What do you do next? Make your play. And let me also ask you a question. Was it right to win this card in the dummy? Was it right to win this card over here? Or didn't it matter? So it was absolutely unequivocally terrible to win that club in the dummy. And here is why. You have to look a little bit ahead. And you have to assume that the opponents are going to play well, right? So watch what happens when we do not win the club in our hand and we win it over there in dummy. The only play we can make is the queen of hearts, right? And when we do that, let's say it goes queen of hearts, king, low. What can the opponent do now? They can absolutely destroy our plans by just leading a heart. Now we have to trump it on that side of the table, and then we have to make a bad lead from those 2 suits over there. Does everybody see how interesting position can be even early in a hand, right? So here we actually should recognize pretty early that when we see this next club come, we have a hand over there that loves being led to, okay? It loves being led to in spades. It certainly loves being led to in diamonds. And for all we know, maybe we can get away without taking a diamond finesse. And we'll get that maybe if the ace of spades is on our left, okay? So we really have to plan a little bit ahead and see what happens and understand it might look like it doesn't matter, but really that the order in which we play these cards is super important. So here, when we overtake it in our hand, I'd like you to make your play now. I hope it should feel easier to you guys. What do you want to play from the south hand? And name the card. Just play the specific card that you want to play. All right. So you might think it's a diamond, but it's not. All right. It's not a diamond first because if the ace of spades is to our left, we may never have to take a diamond finesse. Okay. Because if the ace of spades is to our left and we play a low spade, and let's say they hop up with the ace of spades, we now will get to cross over to dummy at some point and throw away a loser on the king of spades. And maybe that'll be a diamond. Okay. We may be able to throw a heart that way and take a diamond finesse as well. But maybe spades are going even better for us. And also maybe they just lead a diamond at some point from the wrong hand, right? So we'll give all of these a chance. But really what we always want to try to do is avoid taking a finesse if we can. Can we avoid losing a spade at any point on this hand, folks, unless the opponents make a mistake, right? Can we avoid losing the ace of spades? No, right? We can avoid losing the king of diamonds by a finesse or by pitching. We're really not avoiding a spade loser ever because we can't really pitch our singleton spade on anything. So why not, while we may lose a trick here, try to do something good for our side? And here we'll see spade. They actually play the jack of spades. It goes king, ace. Guys like that? And now it goes low heart. Right? We play low. It goes ace, queen, and now they play a low diamond. Make your play, folks. Hey, Barbie. So think to yourself at this point, is there any way to avoid a diamond loser if we don't take a diamond finesse? And the answer should be no, right? We don't have any winning cards to pitch our diamond on. So even when they lead it, ask yourself, like at this point, if I have to play this suit, how would I play it? You would take a finesse, folks. Here, it's the only way you're avoiding a diamond loser. If you jump up with the ace of diamonds, let's say you play a spade and maybe you set those spades up. You're not going to be able to do that without losing a trick at some point, right? Or having more entries to this hand over here. So at this moment, they force you to take a diamond finesse. You must do it. And here's how it goes. Queen, low, low. Now make your play. Tell me the card you want to play from the north hand. And also, where do you think the queen of spades is? And let me try one more quick thing here. How many losers do you have left to get rid of that don't have a landing spot right now? It's just one. It's that lowly heart over there, the jack of hearts. So we need to find a way to get rid of that. Is there a way at this point? Good. Some of you are saying set up spades. How do we do that? How do we set up spades? So I tell you what, I'll play the 10 of spades from dummy. Let's play this and I'll give you your choice here. 10 of spades, low, make your play. Oh, Brady, that is the winner right there. So recognize, remember, when we counted our losers toward the end here, I think we all agreed, and if we didn't, we'll agree. We only had one heart loser left, one heart loser. So if we play the 10 of spades and it goes low, and we pitch a heart and lose it, we haven't gained anything at all, right? So this is a time where, to be honest, the queen of spades is more likely to be in left-hand opponent's hand. And I'm going to tell you why I think that is. First of all, when we let a low spade towards that dummy over there, they played the jack. And because they can see the king 10, 9, 8. So they're supposed to split those honors usually to avoid us from playing the 10, 9, or 8 and losing to the ace and setting up our king of spades, okay? So we should suspect that's a possibility, but let's say we think it's shortness. If it's shortness, we still get to rough this and take a roughing finesse afterwards because we'll see them show out to our left. So this is the best of all worlds. We're going to trump it, right? We're going to trump it because maybe we see the queen fall. And if not, we still have a chance to be okay because watch what I'm going to do now. I'm going to play a diamond to our ace. Now, what should we do, folks? We do not have to play the 9 of spades, folks. Just a low spade. We should know now that we saw more than one spade to our left. They didn't play jack from jack small. They had the queen. So now we play the 5 of spades. We trump it. And guess what the good news is, folks? Now, what should we play? Make your play from the south hand. Finish it off. Yeah, we did our hard work. Those spades are good. We didn't even need both of them to be good. We just needed to get rid of one more heart. We could play a trump toward the jack and pitch them both on the spades, but the more efficient play is to use our short trump by roughing, and then we can just play that 9 of spades and pitch away our losing heart, and the rest is history, folks. That's all she wrote. So let's go back to the very beginning and I'll show you all the hands. This was how this deal was constructed. We started off with our forcing no trump and signed off. And then the play was pretty straightforward, starting out by countering our winners and also finding ways to minimize those winners, okay? When we led clubs for the first time, super important. Let me just go back to this point. When you see the opponent split their honors like that, it's kind of a dead giveaway to them having, and I can play the 8, king, queen, doesn't matter. But when you play this, they're not going to do this without queen, jack, or shortness, meaning stiff jack, right? So when they do this, they give us a nice way to at least test out spades by just trumping them and then understanding that if someone does have the queen, it's lefty, and that's our chance for an extra trick. If they had queen 4th over there or too many spades for us to rough out, we take a heart loser at some point. Same business we had to begin with, right? So there it is. How'd we go, folks, on this board? That is just hand number 1. We have several more to go from here and some more problems intermixed. How's the speed, content? Any questions on this deal as you see it now? Very good. Thank you. All right, then let's jump back into our presentation. We have played that hand. Let's bid this one now. One club on your right. Make your call with this hand, folks. What are you doing? Very glad I'm not seeing any doubles in this mix. We don't have the right shape for double, and we have a perfect bid, luckily, and it is one no trump. Right, we have 15 to 18. That's our range for one no trump. 15 to 18 balanced, and we're just showing a club stopper. Okay, so that is the ideal call for this hand. Now it's back to you, folks. After partner bids 2 clubs, make your call. All right, so our agreement should very normally be systems on over no trump overcalls, right? So systems on means 2 clubs is Stamen, right? Everything else we would play if we open one no trump, we would continue to play here regardless of what that opening bid is. So here we are able to understand that partner's asking about a 4-card major. So we will now respond 2 spades. All right, and now partner bids 2 no trump. And there's a question in the chat. The reason we play 15 to 18 on overcalls of one no trump is because we want just a little bit wider of a range, because let's be honest, frequently when we have a no trump overcall and they've opened the bidding, partner's not going to have very much. So we want to be able to bid a no trump with a little bit wider range of hands, including that 18. If you had 19 or more, you would simply double first and then bid no trump at the lowest available level next. That's how you would manage it. And I'll tell you, the amount of times you're going to have 19 or 20 when the opponents open the bidding, very tiny, but it can happen, and it will. Double is the way we start all those hands, other than the balanced 15 to 18s. That's right, Ann. Exactly. Perfectly described there. Nice. That's right. Debbie, very nice. All right, so this is the same question it always is. This is partner. Do you have the high end or the low end of the range you've shown? That's it. Bid 3 no trump if you do, and pass if you do not. This is the high end of the range. Even though it's even wider, 15 to 18, we're at the 17 to 18 level. That is the high end. We bid 3 no trump, and that's the call we made. And now we're going to play it. All right, so let's jump over to our play screen here and look at this hand. Oh, Anne brings up a really good point. It's really weird as the South player in these situations when you have 16, but I'll give you a very fair rule for that spot. When you have 16, you're usually bidding 3 if you have a 5-card suit, and you're passing if you're balanced. Okay. You might have some 4-4-3-2s with really good intermediate cards, lots of 10s and 9s, where you might upgrade that to 3 no trump as well. But that's the most common time is 16 with a 5-card suit. You always accept, and a balanced 16, you usually decline an invitation, right? Because the 16-point hand with a 5-card suit is just worth more tricks, right? And that's what we're looking for in this spot. Okay, good. So 8 of hearts is the opening lead. I want you to tell me why don't you tell me a few things? Tell me how many points the West player is likely to have, first of all, on this hand. Let's start there. And the West player is this player right here. The auction is right on top as usual. East opened 1 club. We overcalled 1 no trump with this hand, and then we had the Stamen auction all the way to 3 no trump. So what are West's values over here? 17 in our hand, 8 in dummy. That's 25. This player opened the bidding. They have at least 12, right? So on East best day or East worst day, West has about a total of 3 points, right? East could certainly have more. West could have absolutely nothing. But essentially what we're trying to get to is every card we're looking for is likely to be in one spot. Our right-hand opponent over there. Okay. All right. So make your play to trick 1. The 8 of hearts is led. What type of lead do you think that is, folks? What is the 8 of hearts on this deal? And the answer is dovetailing with the discussion we just had. All right. What is the 8 of hearts? And make your play. That is classically top of nothing, right? That says I don't have anything above this card. I'm just trying to find you, which should make sense because we know that player has at most 3 points, and this is a very high spot card. So We should be playing the 3 of hearts. We know the king is over here. We're very confident it's there, right? But do we care if they take it now? No, in fact, it's probably pretty good for us if they take it now. So here, we're just going to allow them to take it if they want to. And as it turns out, folks, they do not want to. So we will win our jack of hearts. So now that we've gotten through trick 1, tell me how many winners it looks like we have at this point, folks. We've taken 1 already. So what's the total number? You can count now. That's right, Ann. And Barbie is correct as well. And Debbie as well. So a lot of you are, I want to play bridge with you because a lot of you are super optimistic. I'm a fan. But we can only count cards that are winners right now, at least at this moment. And the reason we do it this way is we want to have a clear differentiation of how many we need to create. And sometimes it's really easy to create tricks, as we're about to see. But right now, I see we've taken the jack of hearts. We have 1 heart winner and 2 diamond winners left. We're starting with 4 winners. We need 5 more. Where are those winners going to come from? Well, 1 suit in particular looks pretty darn good for extra winners. And the suit that should draw your attention pretty quickly is hearts or clubs. Before I say clubs, right? We have a 7-card suit. We have king, queen, jack, and the 9 in that suit. So that is a situation that's very likely to help us develop tricks. And also spades, because where's the ace of spades, folks? What player is looking at that card? We know the spade situation, if we get the lead towards it, it's going to be pretty darn good for us, right? And maybe an outside chance of an extra diamond, but that's unlikely, right? So what's the problem with this nice line of play here, right? Are we going to be able to just get to that dummy in an unlimited number of times and take our tricks? And what would you like to play now? I think we can realize we're not going to be able to get to that north hand too many times, right? But we're going to need some of those tricks over there, folks. So I would like you to make your play now, and I want you to recognize that trick 1 is right here as always, right? That's the previous trick. So that was what happened at trick 1. I'd like you to make your play now, folks. And remember, we do have a fair amount of information about the values on this hand. And we're leading from the south hand first, folks. That's the hand we're leading from right there. You'll always be able to tell because it's the one highlighted in orange, right? It's going to have an orange highlight on it. Sally, that's very good, but you can make them do that in a different way. What Sally actually said is a very nice way to think about this hand. Make east lead, right? We can take help from our opponents. They have to lead suits, and we don't really have a problem in any suit if they're leading it, right? And what I just saw in the opening lead was the 8 of hearts go to the 10, the jack, and now I have the 9 of hearts, and all I'm missing is the king, okay? So I can create a heart trick while also making east have a choice as to what to do next, right? Which might, in fact, be a club for all we know. And so we want to give them an opportunity to lead. And this is very important when we kind of know where the stuff is. If they can't kill us, it's okay to let them choose what to lead next. So here, as much as I like a club, we're going to get to that later. But this 9 of hearts is a really nice card to play because now one of 2 things is going to happen. They're going to duck it again. And we've just taken an extra heart trick. And especially if we can get back over there, which we should be able to at some point. Or they're just going to take the king. And now, as long as we can get back over there, we'll get 2 of those heart tricks. Okay. And as we do this, we see that once they win that king of hearts, they're going to return a spade. What do you do, folks? Yeah. And don't worry. There are a lot of lines that could work, right? So if you didn't get that heart play right away, you could have gotten to it later, or maybe they even lead another heart for you, right? So if you didn't get that right away, it's no big deal. This is always the king of spades, right? And it's the king of spades because we know the ace is to our right, and we don't want to let our opponent know we have the queen, right? So this is a really good spot right here. And if we save the ace of hearts as a hard entry, we only have 1 entry over there, 1 winner, right? We're trying to develop more because we really need more. Now that we win the king of spades, though, what should we do? What's the next play? So before you do anything, you should kind of revisit your winner count again, right? So we've created at least one extra winner. So we have one in the bank so far. Excuse me, it'll be two after I pull this in. We have two in the bank so far. We have two more diamonds. That's four. The ace of hearts, that's five. And now we need four more tricks, and we can see them. They're in clubs and spades, right? So we should be focusing on one of those suits. In this hand, can we lead a spade again? That solves that problem. We want to lead clubs. And what else do we want to do, folks? We want to gain entry to that hand. So what we should do is play one of the honors from our hand. I want them to take the ace. So I'm going to play the king of clubs. If it goes low, low, what do you do now, folks? Yep, you're trying to still create that entry. And to do that, you're trying to force out the ace of clubs. And if they do take the ace of clubs here, let's say they lead the jack of spades. Make your play, folks. This is why, well, first of all, we should be very confident that we counted the points correctly. And we should be very confident that we correctly guessed this last time, and it was exactly as we expected. The ace of spades started on our right. It is still on our right. So we have to confidently play the queen. There's no fear of anything going crunch to your left because they cannot have those points, right? They couldn't have had that at the very beginning, and nothing has led us to believe they could have it now. Okay. Make your play from the south end now, folks. What do you do? We worked our tails off to get over to that dummy to create that winner. And there it is, folks. There's the club to the queen. And notice the robot did pretty terribly here. They could have actually blocked us from dummy, but they took their club too early. They were likely to gonna get end played on this anyway. But watch what we get to do now. We're gonna play the ace of hearts. They're gonna play a heart. What are you gonna play from your hand, folks? Make your play. Good, Tom. Good catch. Don't say anything to anyone else. All right. So the spades are not tricks, right? We know that. We know the ace of spades is to our right. And we also know that we're never taking a trick here unless they pitch everything, right? So we can absolutely jettison that. Now on the queen of hearts, they follow. What do we do now? Might have made it a little easier for you. Another spade, right? Easy pitching when we're the ones taking the tricks, right? And now they pitch a spade to our left. You're forced to play a diamond. It goes low. What do you play, folks? You're at 7 winners. You certainly don't want to do anything that can give you less than 9. Make your next play, folks. What do you do? Finish this off. What are you playing from south? Yep. Establish, and not just establish, take that 9th trick. Okay, what do you do now, folks? Does it matter? Is it over? How many tricks are we taking? Just 9, right? We've taken 9 already. Is that it? That, folks, is a winner. We have the 13th club in our hand. We glanced over it very quickly, and a few of you did notice that the club was a winner. It's interesting. At the end here, you can get to the correct answer in one of two ways. You can have seen that the clubs broke 3-3, and the 5 of clubs is just good. Or you can just understand that diamond is definitely not good, right? If you know the diamond is definitely not good and you're wondering about the club like a few of you were, now just play the club first and maybe you're lucky and it's good. The cards will speak, okay? But let's go back all the way to the beginning or to the very start of the hand and show you the clubs were always 3-3 on this one. So when we actually played a third round of clubs to enter dummy, we were so excited we were cashing those hearts. We didn't notice that both the opponents followed to that third round, which meant that 5 of clubs was good. And I don't think anyone, I think maybe 1 or 2 of you pitched it away. But if you just recognize the spades will never be tricks, also, you'll get to that last moment where you'll just hopefully have that winning club. All right, good. Yeah, Anne, exactly. Anne brings up a very important point. Sometimes we just see it, we notice it, and then 6 tricks later, we just forgot it happened and or just, are happy to be taking 9 tricks and ending it. Good point. So focus up, stay with it, and you'll find your way there. All right, let's look at an auction I wanted to at least dip into today because it's one we have struggled with recently. And let's get back to our kind of bidding section here. And I'm going to give you the auction above me. 1 diamond, double pass. And I'm going to give you 3 hands. And let me let me take my head size down just a little bit for this one slide, and I'll bring it back for you here. So here are problems 6, 7, and 8. Make your response with each of these hands to the auction above, folks. So sorry, I was just giving you guys examples of how you can put in the bids for each of these. And this hand is very commonly mistaken on a number of these numbers here. The first board, number 6. You know two things. You know you have game, but you're not sure where that game might be, because in fact you know you have a major suit fit. Also, you're just not quite sure which of those suits you have a fit in, maybe both, but you need to know before you make a choice. Okay, so on number 6, your best bid is 2 diamonds, right? That's the Q bid of the opponent's suit. And what that says in response to double is, hey, partner, I have a good hand. I have a good 10 or more points, but I'm not sure where we belong, right? I don't know where we have a fit in. I need you to tell me more about your hand. Specifically, bid your lowest ranking 4-card major. If it's hearts, bid that. If it's spades, bid that. And then we'll find our fit that way. And this hand can now just bid a game after that when they figure out which major to go to. Number 2 is the exact opposite end of the spectrum. We have 2 preferences, actually. We have a better club suit than a heart suit, but guess what, folks? This should definitely make a lot of sense to you when we have a bid available at the 1 level and we're looking at a really bad hand, and one available at the 2 level. We stay as low as we can, and we just pick a major, folks. We play in a major suit. And last but not least, number 8. The reason number 7 and number 8 are next to each other are to show you that we must show a better hand with number 8, because all of our terrible hands bid 1 heart. So on number 8, we have a clear preference. It's hearts. We show that by jumping and bidding hearts. And this is going to be a 0 to 8 is your number 7, right? So the 1 heart bid is 0 to 8 total points. This is more like 9 to, about 11-ish, something like that, right? And that's what it's showing. It's just saying, hey, I have a preference for hearts, and I don't have that worst hand. Everybody okay with all 3 of these? I really wanted to hit on this again, and I'm going to try to hit on any random class I give. I'm going to always have some doubles and responses, because it is a leak in everyone's game. We can't redouble our partner, right? We can only redouble. The only player that would be able to redouble here would be the East player, right? And that would show 10 plus points, and it would kind of guarantee that it was their hand, right? So we aren't allowed to do that unless the opponent doubles, right? So the East player would be able to redouble, not us, for sure. So Tom brings up another good question. If we jumped to 3 hearts, what would that mean? Well, I mean, if we play 2 hearts as kind of our up to invitational, 3 hearts would likely just be a hand that was confident and had a heart fit, and just is very close to game, but is reticent to bid it themselves. I would say it's a very infrequently seen, but in your partnership, you can play it as that, right? Because you're gonna Q bid with all of your really good hands. So here 3 hearts could be, hey, I have, we know we have a heart fit. I have 5, and I'm probably towards that, 11-ish that I can't bid a game with. Makes sense? And you can discuss that with your partners. Usually there's only room for a single jump, but over the minors, there frequently can be room for a double jump like that. Good question. All right, next case. Let's see, number 9. 1 no trump pass, your bid. All right, everybody's on it far. We have the values. We have the shape to bid stamen, so we bid 2 clubs. And when we do, our partner bids 2 spades. Make your call, folks. All right. Glad this problem is here. I was happy to see it live because I knew it was a problem we might struggle with. And I'm going to draw a line in the sand and tell you this. Whenever we have a 9 count and a 5-card suit, we treat it as a game force opposite a no trump opener. So that I will draw a nice rule for you. With 9 points, 9 high card points, and a 5-card suit, I'm pretty happy game forcing 100% of the time opposite a 1 no trump opening bid. I am even more ecstatic when I find a spade fit. Now my hand is worth more because I have roughing value. My diamond shortness is so awesome in spades versus no trump that when partner bids 2 spades, I no longer have to worry about anything. I would have bid 3 no trump if partner bid 2 hearts, but when partner bids 2 spades, my immediate bid is 4 spades, folks. That's where we're playing this, and that's how we get partner to game on this one, folks. Everybody okay with this auction, and why? Very important to not only evaluate these things properly, but also when you find that major suit fit, your hand is just much better. So even if you were planning on inviting in this situation, your hand exploded in value when partner bid 2 spades. So your invite is no longer good. Your hand is just too good for it. Yeah, exactly. With the complete guide to no trump bidding, we're going to hammer this a lot, and among other things in that course, and that's coming up at the beginning of next month. So let's play it, folks. We are now going to jump over to our play table, and we are sitting in the north chair now. So all I've done, folks, is you'll notice that the hand across from us is the hand we just bid. Now we are sitting on the other side of the table playing the 3 no trump, or excuse me, playing the 4 spades that partner has put us in. All right. So take a moment and talk to me about the losers we have on this hand, folks. What are we looking at here? You can count winners too. It can be helpful to do both, but it's usually best to kind of look at that loser count first, just to see where you're at with it in a suit contract, at least. Yeah. So I would look at the heart suit and say I have 2 heart losers for sure. It doesn't look like I have any club losers, at least nothing imminent at the moment. Spades, it could be 1 or 2, right? And that's not half. Sorry. Let's put 1 or 2, not 1/2. 1 or 2 losers here, depending on the location of the cards. Looks definitely like 2 losers here, none here, and then possibly 1 or more diamond losers over here that we need to get rid of, right? So how would we get rid of, let's say, diamond losers? What are the ways we could get rid of diamond losers on this hand, folks? That's it, Sally. That's both ways, really. And Barbie as well. That's one of the ways for sure. And Tom as well. Those are 2 of the spots. And very good, very, very good. Yeah, and this is the plan, folks. When we're planning the play in a suit contract, especially, instead of winners, where we're going to get more, it's losers, and where are we getting rid of them? And the 2 very obvious places we could get rid of diamonds are roughing them in that dummy, right? We have a singleton ace and shortness over there. The other potential way we can get rid of them is maybe on that long club suit over there. That's a possible extra source of tricks. And we may, in fact, be able to get rid of losers in a couple of different suits in that situation. All right. So first things first, we're going to win this ace of diamonds. And I'm going to ask you what you would like to play next, folks. What do you want to do? And remember, we're leading from that top hand over there, right? Because we had to win the ace of diamonds in that hand. All right, so this was trick 1. We won the ace of diamonds over here. What do we do now? So yeah, I like a club for many reasons, but number 1, I want to get to my hand because I want to start taking a little bit of extra tricks on this hand by trumping and or setting up side tricks. So here, a club to the ace is really nice. And then the king of diamonds is an interesting play because we can do something maybe for our future on this hand. When we play the king of diamonds and they follow suit, what should we play from dummy over there? And some of you already made this play, right? This is interesting. We get to take our heart losers potentially down. Now, this might look awesome, but this has a flaw to it as well. If we're taking the heart suit down to a 1, we want to trump a heart too. So now we've set ourselves up to maybe trump 2 diamonds and a heart. We might not get a chance to do it all, but at least we've shortened this position over here for a potential extra trick later. Now what, folks? Make your play. You're in control, folks. Pretty much. And always just recognize where we're leading from, folks. The orange tray, it means this color here, it means that hand is on lead, right? So when it's colored in orange, that hand is on lead. The rest of these that are in blue mean they're not taking action yet. Yeah, we got back to our hand to cash the king of diamonds, but also to trump diamonds, right? We have shortness in dummy and diamonds, and we are about to have a relatively short trump suit because we're going to use that trump suit to trump diamonds. So we do not want to draw trump just yet because we haven't taken care of all of our business at the moment. So here comes a diamond. It goes low, and we trump it. It goes jack over there. Now what, folks? So when we're in a 4-4 fit, once we make one of the hands shorter than the other, we want to try to trump as many times as we possibly can in that hand. Okay. So the best pathway to success in that realm is to lead a club back to our hand. We haven't seen the queen yet, and we still don't. And now what, folks? That's right. Another diamond. We hope it survives. It seems like it might, just based on what we've seen so far, and it does. Now what? Make your play now, folks. And remember, the orange tray is the leader. That's the south hand. That's the top hand there. What are you leading from that hand? And think about the most efficient way, 2 extra tricks. And now I want you to count winners. Sometimes in the middle of a suit contract, we get to a point where we've taken 6 winners already. Can we see a pathway to 10 at this point? Well, what are our losers left? What losers do we have left? We can use the same planning process later in the hand. Yeah, it looks like we have however many spade losers we're going to lose. And what else? We have a heart loser or 2, right? Is there any way to get rid of any of those? Is there any way to get rid of whatever spade losers we have coming to us? I would say no at this point. Is there any way to get rid of a heart loser and avoid a loser altogether, right? It's not going to count to get rid of a heart loser if you lead a club and they trump it and you pitch a heart, right? Can we still trump hearts? In fact, yes, we really can. If we just notice that we still have the ace of spades over there in dummy. Look at how nice this is. We can just play a heart, and it doesn't matter what happens. We win the ace, and then we just lead another heart. And what's the worst thing they can do, folks? What can they do? Or worst thing for us, basically. Yeah. Oh my goodness, they could lead a trump, but that's why we still have that ace of spades sitting over there, right? If they let a trump, guess what? We win that ace of spades. Then all of you wanted to trump a club. Now we go ahead and we trump that club kind of high to make sure they're roughing with an honor. And guess what, folks? There goes that 9 of hearts to that 10 of spades. And the rest are theirs, but it doesn't matter. We took all the tricks we're going to take. And that's 10 in the bank, folks. Now, this is super hard. And I know I kind of led you through this hand, but I want you to look at the potential of everything else. The club suit happens to break very nicely, which is really, really cool on this. But even if we set up clubs, folks, we might not even have an entry to get over to that hand after we draw trump, right? So this is a very interesting one where we start out with the same process as always. We have diamond losers. We also have heart losers. Well, how do we get rid of them? Well, the diamond losers are the easiest ones to spot a way to get rid of. We have no diamonds on this side, and we have relatively short trump. So that was the start of it. And as you'll see, the further you get into the hand, if you keep on that tack, right? Okay, how many losers do I have now? Towards the end, just those heart losers were the ones that were looking hairy. We still have that trump over there. Try to set that up. The rest is golden. Everyone okay? Confusion? Desperation? Talk to me. We're going to go back to the bidding section in just a second, but I want to make sure that this one was okay for you as you walked through it. And you see in our no trump hands and in our suit hands, it's the same, right? It's very difficult. None of this is simple, but it's a similar process where we're starting out with, okay, where are our losers? How are we getting rid of them? And then we can come right back to it. We can come right back to that play and say, okay, Now we're 6 tricks in. As long as you can remember everything, what are our losers now and where can we park those? Okay. Beautiful. Let's jump back to our bidding table. And I'm going to ask one simple question. Pass to you. Make your opening bid. Don't try to be too brilliant. Still bridge here. Make your choice. And just notice East went pass to you. What are we doing? Yeah, we're just normal 1 diamond territory, right? 18 points, nothing that we're going to do any differently there. And when we bid a diamond, it now goes 2 spades on our left. Partner doubles, and it goes pass back to us. So make your call, folks. What do you do on this one? We need to understand what that double shows in a roundabout sort of way to determine what to do. And I'll tell you that, yes, that is the negative double, right? When we open the bidding in a suit and they overcall a natural suit, a double would just be negative, which here would say, hey, partner, I have hearts and I have, some sort of values. I'll let you tell me how many values you think this is. There it is, Barbie. You're the first one to get it right so far. No thanks necessary. Okay, so the North player showed a hand that had 4 hearts and invitational or better values. And what do I mean by invitational? I mean like a good 10 or more. And the reason that has to be that good is we simply opened 1 diamond, right? Our left-hand opponent bid 2 spades, and this double forces our hand to come in at the 3 level, okay, to bid. Is partner going to do that without the values to allow us to play that high? No, right? And that's why their double shows a good hand. And that's why our bid is 3 no trump, folks. We have stoppers and spades. We did not find a hard fit, but we have more than enough to bid a game. Those of you that bid 2 no, you thought it was 18-19. What you forgot is partner's double is not negotiable. You have to bid. I like what Sally suggested. You might consider defending sometimes and just passing the double in a weird way. But this is really poor on this one situation because the vulnerability is too good. When you see the red, it means we're vulnerable. That means our game is going to pay a whole bunch and theirs isn't. And also, whenever I have a long, solid suit of my own, I don't want to play defense too often because that might not be any tricks in their suit. So here we know we have game. We know it's not going to be in hearts. We bid 3 no trump. And in a situation where partner might have 6 hearts and not enough points to bid 3 at the 3 level, maybe they correct to 4 hearts, right? So just understand that in this situation, we're bidding a game because we know if we bid just 2 no trump, partner could pass, folks. So be careful with this. And also decode partner's bid before you make your choice, right? Because 2 no trump is not forcing. 2 no trump shows a minimum hand. And it says, I don't want to play game opposite your invitational bid. Their double is invitational, right? So this is not a choice for us. We had to bid. So our 2 no trump bid is just, hey, I'm a minimum, right? Good. Thank you. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Brian. All right, cool. Let's play 3 no trump. Let's get back over to the play table. Now we are flipped over to this side, right? We are watching as we're defending. Oh, sorry. I see what the problem is. 1 second, folks. Let me get us to the correct side of the table. Not that this is going to be too confusing. I apologize, folks. Here we are. We saw our partner double. We jumped to 3 no trump, and now we are on this side of the table. So recognize the only piece of information we have is that our left-hand opponent jumped to 2 spades, which should be the equivalent of a weak 2 bid, right? 6 cards in the spade suit and less than 10 points. So make your play, folks. What are you playing from the dummy? So I'm getting I'm getting some comments such as, we can't let East in because the king of spades is here and it's dangerous. We need to play the ace of clubs. Ask yourself, or let's think a little deeper. How many spades does East have at the most? So all we need to do is just take a peek. Here's 6. That's 2. We have 4. So if East has 1 spade, can they do a ridiculous amount of damage to us by leading that 1 spade? No. No. Right. They'll get two tricks, right? No matter what happens, we can play low to whatever they play. And now either West wins and so on and so forth. So here we should recognize before we play a club, we need to figure out how dangerous spades really is. And in reality, spades doesn't seem that dangerous at this point, right? And we can develop a club trick just by playing low here. And maybe our left-hand opponent has like the ace, queen of spades and the king of clubs, right? They're leading low, suggests they might have strength, right? So I don't want you guys to get spooked. Speaking of Halloween around the corner, we don't want to get spooked by these plays. We want to make normal bridge plays, especially when we know what might be happening next. And watch what happens. It goes king of clubs, low, and then they play the jack of clubs. Make your play. Yeah, just as discussed, folks. Didn't mean to ruin the surprise, but when they play the jack of spades, we know they have 0 spades left. So we play low. We know we're blocking the suit right now. And now West has the really odd choice of, should they overtake with their queen and cash their ace, which is a worst case scenario for us to take 2 tricks. Or the more normal play is, maybe I hope partner has another spade they can lead. But as it turns out, they now return a club. We had a better count of that suit than they did. And we win our queen. Make your play now, folks. What card would you like to play from this hand? I'm so happy. You're all nailing it. Ace of hearts. And it has to be the ace of hearts first. You have 2 red suits that look like they could run, but your heart suit is more likely to run because you have the top 4 hearts. And what do we want to do? We want to run hearts and hope that if diamonds aren't breaking, which who knows, maybe both suits are breaking, but it's unlikely on this auction. So in the case that diamonds aren't breaking, we want to allow them the opportunity to throw them away to our success, right? So we're going to play the ace of hearts. And we're going to run hearts first and make it very easy for ourselves. Where's the ace of spades, folks? And the queen of spades and all that. Yeah. As long as we remember those are in West, we'll know what to do for the rest of this entire hand. So we're going to play a heart to the king. We see they divide somewhat evenly. And now we play heart. What do we throw away, folks? Just keep this in your brain forever. Worthless spade. Worthless spade. And now we play the jack of hearts. It goes low diamond. Yes, we like seeing that. Worthless spade, folks. Get rid of that spade. Here comes the last heart. And now pitch a club. What do we throw away, folks? Unless we've seen the ace of spades get thrown, worthless spade, right? No need for whatsoever. What do we play now? We're in the north hand. Make your play, folks. Yeah, we play the ace of clubs, because this is our last opportunity to do so. Even if you think diamonds are breaking, folks, do you know that for sure? No. Do you know the ace of clubs is good? Heck yes. So you play the ace of clubs and you see both opponents follow. Make your play, folks. What are you going to do? All right. All of you are playing diamonds, which at this moment is incorrect. Unfortunately, the club's good. The club's good. I pitched the club from the West hands at some point that I was hoping you guys watched, and no one saw it. It was okay. Obviously, if you didn't know the clubs were good, you would play the diamonds and you would lose a diamond in this situation. But if you were really paying as close attention as possible and you noticed the clubs that were pitched by left-hand opponent, you would have gotten this right and you would have cashed that 8 of clubs, pitching your last possibly not good diamond and taking all of those tricks. So what happened here is actually West's club pitch didn't really matter. It was East that pitched more clubs because they had to protect those diamonds, folks. East ended up being a little squeezed on this hand, quite legitimately so on this one. And if I run through it very quickly, I just want to show you what the last position would have been. Oops, sorry. It's helpful if they actually win that first trick as advertised, right? And our crucial play here was the jack of spades and us just playing low. We were being allowed to win it. Here comes a club through, and now literally just by the force of nature, they are going to be squeezed out of their cards. Now, this just happens naturally. If I can actually play the right card here, we're going to play the 9 of hearts to the king. And now watch East. East is so comfortable right now. East has no problems. We play the jack of hearts. Sure, they can pitch a diamond. Let's do that. And now in this last heart, cooked city, folks. What can they do? Well, they can pitch a diamond. What did we do this whole time, folks? Did we have any problem? Did we have any problem whatsoever figuring this hand out? No, because we knew the spades were never going to be good. So we have super easy pitches, and right-hand opponent has disastrous choices. They made the right choice, though, because guess what, folks? We forgot to count clubs. So they pitched a club, which meant they saved the right thing. If, however, they just pitch a diamond, even if we get it wrong, we'll get it right because the only play at the end is those diamonds. So super interesting play where a squeeze just naturally develops through normal card play. We just have to be paying attention, folks. That's all. Too fast, too slow, confusion, brain bust. We're an hour and 40, oh, sorry. So we're an hour and 15 minutes into class and we still have 30 minutes left to go. We're going into overtime today. So we're going to do more stuff. And we have at least a couple more hands to bid and play. So this one, just pay attention. And also, you don't have to count everything, but pay attention to those really crucial suits. This one was clubs and diamonds, essentially. And let's just be fair. When we noticed left-hand opponent preempted and had 3 hearts, we can kind of maybe count their hand and figure everything out as well. But we'll leave that to maybe a counting course and something else in the future. So let's jump back in and look at the rest. And you're right. And these classes can be difficult with my chiming in at times as well. However, you're gonna have a fair amount of just random table talk at the table as well. So try to just cut me out and focus on that. Easier said than done, obviously, for sure. But let's look at this next hand over on our bidding screen. 1 club, and it is your choice with this hand. What do you do here? So for those of you that are overcalling 1 spade, what do you plan to do if it goes 2 clubs, pass back to you? So if you're choosing to just bid 1 spade and it now goes 2 clubs and it goes pass back to you, what are you going to do? Are you going to let it go? Or are you going to bid again? The point is, I think we would usually agree to try to rebid our 6-card suit if given the opportunity in that auction, which means why don't we show it right away? This is a week 2 bid, right? And we want to get in here quickly and efficiently because we described this hand quite well. Is it the perfect suit? No, for certainly not. But it is actually 9 points, which is right near the top of our range. And Queen Jack 10 is not a bad suit, folks. That's 3 of the top 5 honors. All things being considered here, if you're going to get in the auction, get in with your preemptive bid. You describe your hand more completely and you interfere with them usually more effectively. Did we interfere effectively on this hand? Well, I guess we'll find out in the play. But the opponents after our 2 spade bid 2 no trump on our left, and then 3 no trump was raised to game on our right. And now, folks, it is time to defend a contract. Now we're going to be defending this contract, and we are in 3 no trump, and our partner actually leads the king of spades. All right, so what, first of all, what does this lead suggest in partner's hand? And also tell me what you expect to see as far as values in that north hand on this auction, folks. And I'll just clue you in. This is invitational, right? It's probably that 10 to 12 points in high cards in that hand. So what do we do here? Or excuse me, what's partner looking at over there first? And what is the spade lead? Most likely. So the first things first, 14 points here. We actually had 9. And this player invited, I give them right smack dab in the middle of their range, 11. So that's 20, 34. That means partner has about 6 points. And that is about what we can expect them to have. Very nice when we see at least half of their points come out at the first play. What I would think when I see this king of spades is that is either a doubleton or it's the only one they had. Why isn't it more than a doubleton, or why can't it be? Well, let me ask you a question. When partner bids a suit and you have king third, what should you lead from that holding? What would you lead? It's correct to lead low from that, right? You lead low from king third, but king doubleton, you lead high. Singleton honor, you clearly lead that. So here, that's what you expect this to be. And also, we now recognize that partner is super unlikely to have points outside of that suit, right? So well, let's make our plays. It goes low spade from dummy. What card should you play from your hand, folks? Well, left-hand opponent must have a spade stopper to the left. Yes. So we know the ace of spades is to the left as well, for sure. So I want to tell my partner, I like this. I want them to continue if they're deciding whether or not to do so. Can I afford to tell them I like it by playing the queen, the 10, or the jack? Not if this is a singleton, folks. If that is only one, and let's check our math, that means two were here. I have 6, that is 8, 9. That means this player has 4. So if I were to plunk this 10 down, I may in fact be, compressing a trick in my side, right? They know I like this, but I want to confirm it. So I'm going to play the 6. I may sometimes preempt, still have a good spade suit, but want a switch. I'm going to use that when I discourage for those sorts of things. So here we're going to see the 6 of spades get played. That might not be as clear as possible for partner, but they'll figure it out. And you're right. Partner should know that we like it, but maybe there are times we like other suits more. We want the flexibility to do that. This just confirms this, and partner plays the 3, right? Now it goes 7 of, or declare plays 3, 7 of spades, 9 of spades. What do we know about declare's spade count now, folks? Yeah, partner led king from king 7, right? If they had 3, they would have led low. So now we confirm partner had 2, dummy had 2, we had 6, boom, boom. That is 3 for declare. So what should we play? Play your card from the south. What card are you playing in that spade suit? Sally's right. Debbie too. And this is a very quick carding check. When we're being led to, remember this. You always play the lower of touching honors, and that is because it is exceptionally descriptive for partner when the 10 forces out something else. And when we play the 10, the ace happens to get played over here. All right, folks, now it goes queen of hearts. Oops, sorry. Our partner plays the 4. Dummy plays the 5. What should you play from your hand, folks? Does it matter? That'd be an Al Brady and Carroll on it. Yeah. When declare leads a suit, this is just good practice. When declare is breaking a suit for the first time, whether it's from their hand or from the dummy, we give count, and we have an even number of cards in the heart suit. So we play high, low to show an even number. We can do this when we have cards that aren't going to matter. And the 9 is not going to matter on this one, folks. Trust me. And now we see the jack of hearts gets played. We play low. And now it goes heart to the king. Make your play, folks. It's pretty painful, isn't it? Sometimes when we're playing defense, and especially because we know partner played half of their points already, we can't hold on to everything. We have to protect things. The one thing we should be absolutely certain we must protect is clubs. We can see the error of our ways if we pitch a club. The ace and king will just get rid of our queen. So here we throw a spade because we're also being somewhat protective of diamonds, right? We have the king and the jack in that suit, and we have no guarantees that partner has any tricks left in this. I mean, maybe partner has the jack of clubs, maybe they don't, right? We can't be sure. So what will you play now, folks, when they lead the ace of hearts? It's the same situation, people. It's the same, right? Unless you have perfect information, you cannot afford, you certainly still cannot afford to throw a club. You still cannot afford to unprotect the king of diamonds either, I think, right? Unless partner has signaled anything that they liked diamonds, which they haven't been able to pitch yet. We just have to keep throwing away cards that we know we're not protecting, okay? And on this one, they throw a spade and it goes 10 of hearts. And now they lead a diamond. Make your play. Yeah, for sure. Second hand low, right? We're not going to play the king. We're just going to play the jack, and we see now it goes ace. And then jack of clubs, low, low, queen. Guess what, folks? How many tricks will we take now from this moment? And notice, if we didn't protect the diamond, we probably were going to be okay, But did that cost us anything? No, it gave us an extra diamond trick and we took a club trick. So on the 2 spades we pitched that were winners, we actually took 2 tricks with what we saved or what we protected. If we unprotected diamonds or clubs, and let me show you this entire hand as we finish it off here. Look at the disaster if we pitch a club, folks. They take 4 clubs, just bingo, bingo, bango, bongo, right? The diamond play, we can't be sure a partner has that queen over there. There's no way for us to know unless we have a full accounting of this hand. We might be close, but here it's a very tough spot where we just have to protect everything, including the tricks that we have to take that we've set up. Everybody okay? I have one more to dig deeply on here, and then I've left you some homework problems in the back of the notes. But everybody okay with this one? Questions, comments? You guys have had some good questions so far, so I'm going to leave it out here. And we have about 15 minutes left, so get the brains a little bit of a deep breath, and we're going to press forward. I know it hurts, but it's all good for your gray matter going forward. All right, here comes problem 14. Let's jump over and bid this one. 1 diamond by us, pass. 1 heart by partner, pass to us. What do we do? So we opened a diamond, partner bid a heart, and it's back to us. All right, normal stuff here, folks. We're unbalanced. If we were very balanced, we might sometimes, even with 4 spades, bid 1 no trump. This is the exact opposite of that, folks. We are unbalanced. We want to show that we have diamonds, we have 4 spades, and we do not have 4 hearts. And that's exactly what we're showing. And when we bid 1 spade, our partner now bids 2 clubs. Make your choice now. I like that bid, Ann. So 2 clubs is a special bid, folks. It's 4th suit forcing, which is artificial. And it usually commands one of 2 priorities for you. The first priority you're looking for is, do you have 3 card support for partner's original major? And no, we don't. And the second part is usually if we have a stopper in the 4th suit, we're to bid no trump. There's another way we can go about this, and in fact, a much better way for hands like this, and that is just to pattern your hand out to bid 3 clubs, right? Your partner's made a 4th suit forcing bid, which is artificial completely. And 2 no trump would in fact show stoppers, right? But 3 clubs is a bid that actually shows the shape, and it implies the ability to stop clubs just via length that you're showing. So when you have a hand like this that actually does have all the 3 suits, instead of bidding 2 no trump, it's very reasonable to just pattern your hand out. You're in a game force, and now partner knows exactly what they're dealing with. So maybe for their purposes, sometimes they want to play diamonds and we've just beautifully patterned our hand out for them, or maybe they want to play clubs, right? Who knows? But we just get to pattern our hand out while still leaving 3 no trump open for business. Everybody okay with that? Everybody? As I didn't mean to say everybody twice there, but are we all cool with this differentiation here? 2 no trump is it's wrong because our shape is so obviously 3 suited, right? So this is just the important little detail here that we're getting across. And now after we bid 3 clubs, our partner clips off 3 no, and it is our turn to play this one more time. And here it is, folks. We are going to be playing 3 no trump. And what I've done is I've taken us and brought us over to the other side of the table. So this is the hand that we've just bid. And now we're tasked with playing 3 no trump from this side of the table. A heart has been led towards our hand, which is pretty darn good. How many winners are we looking at on this hand, folks? When we start, man, some of you had it in there so fast. You knew what I was going to ask. I see 5. 5 because we're always getting 2 hearts on this opening lead. Right, we're either getting the queen now or we're getting it right after the king gets played. So we have 2 hearts, 1 diamond, and 1 spade, right? That's about it. Sorry, 2 spades. That's 5, right? So that's all we can count right now. However, where are a lot of our extra tricks going to come from on this deal? There's a couple of spots, right? What's the most obvious one? Yeah, I would say clubs for sure, right? Clubs looks like it's the spot where we're going to get the most extra tricks. We're always getting at least 2, and we may in fact get 3 extra tricks in that suit, okay? So on the 8 of hearts lead, it goes low. The 10 gets played to our right, and we're going to win the queen, right? So there's the one of the two tricks we already counted in this suit. Now that we're in the south hand, I'd like you to make your play, folks. What will you do? So the thing you always want to think about the best possible way to play a suit. And if I were looking at clubs, I would my favorite or my preferred way to play clubs would be to lead a low club from the north hand towards my queen. Right, that's the safest, or at least from my money, that's the best way, because a lot of times I may just hop up with the ace, and now you just essentially have 3 tricks guaranteed, right? So that's how I would love to lead clubs. The question is, can I safely execute that? And the answer is maybe, but not without at least some risk, and it's going to really depend on diamonds, because I could take a diamond finesse right now, and if it works, man, that's amazing, because now we have 2 entries to dummy at least, and maybe a third with the long diamond. But what's the problem with the diamond finesse losing? What might happen? And Sally, you kind of picked this off earlier as well. And now everybody's on the board. The real tremendous fear I have is they get off to a heart switch and set up their heart tricks before I ever touch clubs. Does that make sense, everybody? Right, really rough stuff if we haven't set up clubs and they set up hearts before we do. All right. So at this point, as much as I really want to lead a club towards my queen, or maybe even a low club towards dummy, I think at this point I just want to get to the business of unblocking, and we're going to be rewarded with a lovely card. Actually, when we play the queen of clubs, it goes 10. We're going to play low, and now it goes ace, and then it goes spade. What do you think's happening here, folks? We've seen 2 really kind of alarms at this point, and I know it's been a long afternoon so far, but try to think about 2 really odd things that have happened so far. Yeah. So when we played the queen of clubs, they played the 10 underneath it to our left, right? That's weird, right? That's an alarm bell, especially considering they can see that. So that just screams club shortness. But also, Barbie brings this one up. East saw a partner lead a 4th best heart or a low heart, and they're not returning their partner's suit. That is also weird. So what I would be thinking, just as I'm playing this hand, I'd be saying, oh my gosh, first of all, I'm so happy a heart didn't come back, but also take a peek. That means that's some short clubs. Now they're leading a spade. I'm not too worried about anything. I can get back to my hand if I want. We can even take a free finesse here and play this jack of spades. And that's what we're going to do. And it wins, folks. So I want you to do 2 things. Don't do anything yet. I want you to count your winners again. All right. You're at 2 already. You've taken 2 tricks. How many more do you have? How many total will you take now? And then let's come up with the best strategy to go forward. And remember, we've taken 2 already. We have 3 clubs. We have 2 spades if we get to the unblocking correctly. We have 1 heart. And we have 1 diamond. 3, 5, 6, 7. We already have 2. That's 9, folks. We are going to make our contract. Should we look for extra tricks on this hand, folks? Can we? Should we? How will we do it? The answer to this question is usually pretty simple. Are there extra tricks we could potentially take? And are we at risk of going down by searching for those extra tricks? And that is the beauty of them not returning a heart as well. We have stoppers here. We have tricks here. We have an entry here, and we have entries over there as well. And the diamond suit, if it breaks evenly, will create entries also. So we don't have any risk, folks. We can take a diamond finesse, and we're going to do it now, just in case the diamonds aren't breaking evenly. We may still enter our hand with a spade, but we're going to play a low diamond. We're going to see it go low, and we're going to play the queen. If this loses, folks, there's no problem, right? We may, in fact, lose another diamond at some point. But if it loses, the moral of the story is they can't beat us from this point forward, right? Not yet, because they haven't gotten a source of tricks out for their side. As it turns out, though, that finesse wins. Make your play now, folks. What do we do? Well, is finessing again going to do us any good? What honors are we missing? We just successfully finessed for the king, right? But now we're missing the king, the jack, and the 10. So there are no longer any diamond finesses that we could potentially win. How do we figure out if we should take extra tricks? Well, let's count our winners again. Right? I hate to beat a dead drum, or beat a drum, but here we have 2 spades. We have 3 clubs. Now we have 1 diamond and we have 1 heart. So that is now 7 plus the 3 we took. That's 10 we're up to. Can we take another trick, folks? And are we safe to go looking? And if we can take another trick, what suit will it be in? We started with 8 diamonds. Right? We've played only 1 round of diamonds, right? So at this moment, we can test what's happening in diamonds. And we can do that just by playing the ace, right? We play the ace of diamonds and we see if it's breaking evenly, 3-2 or worse. And now, folks, we have everything we need. We know diamonds are breaking, but we have a little issue with entries possibly, right? So we want to do one thing before we play diamonds. We actually want to play a spade, right? We're going to play a spade to unblock our spades. And now, folks, no matter what happens, when we lead this diamond, they cannot do a single thing against us, right? Here is their hand. What if they lead a heart? What do? Well, we win the ace of hearts. We can cash a diamond or not. We'll pitch a spade, but the dummy's now good. If they, in fact, lead a heart, we will win the ace of hearts. And of course, sorry, if they let heart, yes. If they let a spade, we win the ace of spades. We run clubs now, right? Because we're over on that side, pitching away the hearts that we have. And we've already pitched 1 heart on the ace of spades. And now we cross to the 9 of diamonds and the ace of hearts is good. So that is the end of this hand. The start of it was quite interesting. Left-hand opponent actually had 6 hearts. And right-hand opponent actually had all the clubs, right? So here, for our purposes, we just needed to, number one, see where we were at all times. And that's every no trump contract. Do we have enough to take our contract? And if we do, is it safe to go pursuing more, or should we just take our money and run? And if it's safe and you do have extra tricks to take, go for it, right? Make sure you're just not taking less by doing so. And that is everything I have set up for you, at least for this portion of the class. I just grabbed a couple of slides that I really loved and I added them to the section. So I have, I think 6 or 8 more problems at the back end of the notes on this. So this will include the notes that we did, and also the replay will have all of the info that we played on all these hands. So I hope you enjoyed this. And this was a new way for me to do things, to kind of take the hand from very start to the very end. I hope you liked it. I kind of liked doing it this way. I think it's more random in nature, but it gives you a feel of essentially the entire deal of a hand, which is what I want to give you, the decisions and everything that goes with it. So thank you guys so much for joining. I will take your comments or questions here. And if you have none, I will see you in the next session, folks. I appreciate you joining. Thanks, Tom. Appreciate that. Sally, thanks again. Yeah, this bridge is just, there's a lot of great hands out there. So that's why it's not too hard to come up with stuff, because I get to see a lot while playing as well, which is really cool. All right, folks, I think I might have burned you out a little bit with the 105-minute class, but I will thank you, first of all, for enduring it with me. And for those of you that have purchased this class and have joined, I appreciate that. And I will see you in the next one. It's the end of October right now. I have the end of 2022 schedule coming out shortly, and that will include a complete guide that is almost in the can, so to speak, in the being ready to be posted. That's going to be all about no trump auctions, which I'm super happy about. Some of the content that you're most familiar with, but may need a little bit more conventional help and or understanding of the odd situations that happen after our natural no trump. So be on the lookout for all that, and I will see you there or in any of the classes between now and then. Thanks so much. Take care, folks.